Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike. Cameo, he's not here today. He possibly could be in a canoe somewhere going through the People's Republic of New York there. Not a good situation there. Hopefully you're okay, too, as well. Their Price Rescue out there, and all of our other New York listeners. Our prayers go out to you. Prayers go out to the family, too, back on the island there, man. Not a good, any of the people on the island or live in the city there, peace be with you, and prayers out to the families. Anybody that lost anybody out there is pretty bad. I've got a good show lined up and planned for you today. Remember to get your comments in for the Chick-fil-A gift card. Yes, that's coming up very, very, very soon. Next week is coming. And the other deal is that who is going to get the extra $Rooskies that we might add to the gift card? It might not be 25. It'll be emailed this time. It won't be sent out, because I'd rather give you the money than give out to the postage there to send it secure to you, to your door, so you can take out someone special that you want to take out. Just get your comments in. We're going to have the drawing, and we're going to see who is going to be the lucky winner to take home the gift card. Okay, guys, going to the first stock we have is ATOS. ATOS. Atossa Therapeutics Incorporated. Last tick was $3.78. $3.78. The 6-month history on this, it looks like in March you were trading about 250, around the 250 range. Looks like it drove up the price around above $5. You crested up above 758. And then it totally got shorted out, picked up a little steam, and then dropped out to around the 378 range. We're going to go into the alphabets for the past 6 months, and we're also going to look to see what drove that price to where it is now, and what drove it up, obviously, from talking about before, back in the July time there, that this stock was around that range. Going into what they do, what would you say they do here? They operate in a clinical stage of pharmaceutical company which focuses on the development of novel therapeutics and delivery methods and treatment of breast cancer and other breast conditions. That information was courtesy of MarketWatch. If you want to go to the history of the stock and as far as how it's performed in the past 6 months, year, 5 years, you can go back on there and check that out and check out the latest tick. So we're going to check out the website, see what it's got, check out what they're doing then, and then we're also going to go to the regular news there, some of your Mockingbird alphabets, and see what they have to say. Going on to the website, well, it looks pretty good, obviously, because you're in $3 and change land. It doesn't look like it's cheap seats or anything there. So looking at, they're in the clinical stage by a pharmaceutical company, discover and develop innovative medicines that are significant unmet medical needs. Atossa's current focus is for breast cancer and COVID-19. So right there on that, you could see that obviously the spike was from some of their phases with COVID there. Going through, they believe the innovative therapies and delivery methods can benefit COVID-19 patients, transform breast cancer treatment, and the goal is preventing breast cancer from developing in the first place. So, right, in another analysis there, we have to say that if they hit any of these two with those phases again, you're going to see a spike. So this is one that you probably could play around with if you like to play games, or if you're in a long-term hold. You just have to wait for the dip is where you're going to have to wait. That says the promise of endoxifen. They're developing a formulation of endoxifen to reduce the mammographic breast density. Studies by others have shown reducing breast density can reduce the risk of breast cancer. They're also developing the oral endoxifen that's in the window of opportunity between the diagnosis between breast cancer and surgery. For these newly diagnosed patients, the oral endoxifen before surgery may turn down the cancer cell activity. That's huge news too there. Let's go more into that, because if with this breakthrough, if you understand what you're investing in, you have knowledge of what you are going to buy, and you can tell your friends what you bought into as well. Also, this is the stock. These particular stocks are going to be some of the ones that are going to be economic proof as far as from the federally printing machine there that they got, just because the Fed has pretty soon, and also in the past here, they pumped more casholito into the economy and inflating everything to where we have the big pop goes the weasel, and it's going to come. It's just a matter of when. Nobody knows when the bubble will pop, but it will pop, and when it pops, it's going to be really bad. So wouldn't you want to be in one of these? Because with medicine, it's not going away, guys. So people have to get treated unless we're going back to the electromagnetic pulse days, which could happen too. You never know. So with the endoxfen, identified to the key taximofen metabolite that helps reduce the risk of getting future breast cancer. Studies have shown that increased levels of this in breast cancer patients reduces the risk of future recurrence. The proprietary oral form was subject to a comprehensive phase 1 clinical study in healthy women in Australia. All objects from the study were met, and in addition, the oral endoxfen was developed to the phase 2 clinical study administered in the window of opportunity between diagnosis of breast cancer and surgery. Positive results were achieved with the patients enrolled. So, with it being where we're at, let's go back to Market Watch. We're in the day right here. Let's go year to date. Let's just play a little game here. So right now we are at the $3.78 change. Okay, what do you think is going to happen when this thing goes to up to as far as when they release the information on phase 3 when that comes out? It's not going to be at $3.78 anymore. It's going to it's gonna jump to where it was with this, where the 750 range was again, or higher, and you will make coin. Let's go into some of the other things they got going on in the pipeline. Check it out and see what else they got on the website. Okay, so without having to go to the Mockingbird media, because they give everybody a headache and they just carry the cooler for people, we're not one of those that carry the cooler. We cover both sides. We cover the actual company, and we talk about the investor traders, the retailers, and the big dogs. So with this on their website, they have COVID-19 programs. In June 20, Atossa announced that the ability to manuscript the successful results from in vitro testing of the components of ATH201 in Vero cells. A copy of the manuscript can be found on the website. You can go and check it out. So when they did that in June of 2020, you had your 750 pop right there. Now, obviously, the dip and dumpers, they crapped it out and they got you down to the lower range. But those of you that gobbled up have capitalized on this news. So you have two things going for you on the stock, not just one, but two. And that's why these biopharmas are important when you're looking at them to grab them. At AT201, the COVID-19 HOPE program. In April 2020, Atossa launched a new drug development program called COVID-19 HOPE. The goal of COVID-19 HOPE program is to develop a therapy to improve the lung function and reduce the amount of time that COVID-19 patients are on the ventilators. Because reducing that time obviously helps, so they don't go into, without getting into anything, people unfortunately get worse. Let's just call it that. Okay, so they use the program with novel combinations of two drugs that have been previously approved by the FDA for other diseases. The program called COVID-19 HOPE is an acronym for AT201 in COVID-19 patients for pulmonary evaluation. The inextended primary function of Atossa's proprietary drug combination to essentially mimic the function of antibodies performed from the vaccines by blocking the ability of the virus to enter the target cells. That's the huge thing, is to stop replication of this one. The vaccine may not be available for more than a year. There are 5 known key steps for coronavirus must take to signal the cell to open up the virus in. The H201 is designed to function like a chemical vaccine by blocking all 5 steps, similar to the antibodies that would be expected to the vaccine administered. The virus should not be able to enter the cell because the keys that would otherwise open the door into the cell surface will be disabled. So with this, guys, if they can come through this and keep on going, for one, with both of these, two of these diseases are devastating, okay? They're just, both of them have killed a lot of people. Let's just leave it at that. When they hit these clinical stages of these two studies that they're doing, you're going to see that your investment of that $3 and change per share, that's obviously going up. We've seen several that we've covered in the past that I believe we covered one that was, you can go back to the video, maybe it was a month ago or 2 months ago we covered. It's $20 a share. Going back to the history, it was simply too dirt cheap. So I'm saying that to find these ones when they are this dirt cheap, lock them and sock them away, and buy them up when they're cheap. Put them away because they will pop. They will always. You don't have to. You're gonna. Some of these you can follow the patterns in your candlesticks for your 6-month history, your year history, your 5 history. Go back to see. They're obviously when they're taking the dip. You want to buy on the dip and then dunk it when you get your high. Not saying dunk it to sell off and short. What I'm saying is to dunk it. You just dunk because you just made a lot of dollarooskies. So we're gonna go on to the alphabets checkout to see what they have and see what they're mocking right now. Okay, guys, we're going on the alphabets. We're going to Yahoo Finance and. Look, going on here, it says the Swedish Ethics Review Authority begins to phase 2 clinical study of the oral endofexin in the reduction of mammographic breast density. So that's where your spike came from today. News. When you have all these stocks that you're collecting, always make sure you're following the news and checking it out. It's not just a check your portfolio game if you're new to any of this. It's all about checking your stocks and also checking the news and see what's going on. Check out the future news, past news, but don't just get it from quantitative brainwash, as Tyler Durden would say, to quote him, as far as your news, because some of the news is news for the elites. You have to take in your alphabet news, and then you also have to take in your as far as all over the place. We're talking social media. Your some of the best places you can find is in all forms of social media for news is because you get independent journalists that are on their own that are self-funded, and they think. You can find them anywhere depending on how you are on the political landscape. I don't care if you're right, left, up, down, whatever your political preference is. When it comes to news, you want to cover all forms of the spectrum. You just don't want to be on one side, because if you're on one side, you're going to get lost in this world, especially in the stock world. You're going to lose some money. So on this show, we don't carry the cooler for any politicians. We don't carry the cooler for any media or anything like that. We go to the alphabets. We go to the right, we go to the left, we go to the Twitter, we go to the Gab, we go to the Gib, we go to the Slab, there's some of those are not companies, but we go all over and we cover every single news company that we try to on here because we want everybody to get a full take and the full spectrum of what's going on. So with this, they're emerging a public health issue affecting more than 10 million women in the United States and worldwide. Studies have conducted shown that MBD reduces the ability of mammograms to detect cancer and increases the risk of developing breast cancer. Additional studies show the correlation with reducing MBD and the reduction of the incidence of breast cancer. With the ethics approval and previously reported regulatory approval to conduct the clinical study, they will plan on starting enrolling participants in the fourth quarter 2021, said Stephen Quay, MD, PhD, Atossa chairman and CEO. So that plug comes from Yahoo Finance. Going on to Global Newswire. This was 3 weeks ago. It looks like the second quarter results provided a corporate update information to the stockholder meeting. Yada 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 here. It says it looks like they had one of their cancer surgery studies was a primary endpoint study was achieved. Ki-67, a common measure of a tumor cell activity that was reduced on the average of 25.6%, huge, at a screening to 6% on the surgery. 65.1% reduction in Ki-67 was reduced 25% in all patients, which potentially clinically meaningful because the studies of others have shown that reduction is 25% and improves long-term survival. So that plug was from Global Newswire. Going on, looking back here. So keep an eye on what some of the news is on all of them, and see what your opinions are on some of the news that you can read. You'll be able to read more. If this breaks through, this will be simply huge for that type of thing there. And the other thing, like I told you guys before, when you donate, or sorry, not donate, but when you're putting money into the stock, you got to think of these stocks, these biopharmas. You're also helping mankind as well. Yes, you are, man and womankind. You're helping to make humankind their future as far as better, because you're helping fund to help make people's lives and the world a better place there. So going on, we're going to go to Stockwits and actually check out what the real traders are saying on this stock, not your big dogs or your heavy hitters or your Gasparinos or any kind of people, things like that. Okay guys, going on to Stockwits where the real traders are at, we have Honey Badger 6. He wrote 43 minutes ago. They have to go over 1 million short shares, availability to 3.3 short shares available for 4.3 short shares available at 1.5% borrow fee. Good sign. Crossing 410. Well, the release point will back to 514, I believe, taking 384 and hold first. Good point there, Honey Badger. I would have to concur. Bunster says ATOS BBG win Biospec, the bag holder, bingo, hilarious, and Quay theme versus. Stockbeast says my WWE cancer fighting tag team champions. There you go. How is it that all you Fib fans, we wonder why you break 430 and can't see anything going lower than 302? The news still in the channel is the uptrend and retrace. Yeah, as far as that, if you are negative Nancy about this, you're gonna be left out when this bad boy hits to the way above the cheap seats of where it's at now. You're gonna be regretting looking at the red candlesticks, and you're gonna be like, you should have bought when you saw the red. Okay, it looks like Paul Longer says a lot of people are butthurt today, but it closed above where we wanted. Let's see where the next week brings. Again, like we talked about on the show yesterday. We also quoted what Ricky Gutierrez says. We cannot get emotionally attached to these things, okay? Yeah, it sucks. Go out and go have a drink or go out for a run or go do something. Just don't drink and run, obviously, because we don't want anything bad to happen. That would suck. But go relax there and things like that. Don't get emotional. Don't get emotionally attached to these things, okay? Obviously you gotta watch your chart. That's the thing. If you're playing with your money, you gotta always watch the chart, unless you just don't give a crap or whatever. But watch your chart. Don't get butthurt. Keep your head in the game and keep your spirits up. That's all I gotta say about that. Michael Jin 101 says, finally, a short day trader revealed his identity. He's been holding notes lately and penny flipping, added tons of pennies at his bag. In other words, he's been profitable lately. Congrats. Oh, we got a picture of Donkey. Okay, we got Bidenfor.com. He will cry when this is at $15 soon. Yeah. So I don't know what the Biden FYRE is. I have no idea. But $15, that's not that far of a reach. I could see that there. Come Wednesday morning, you will all know that you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Ain't that the truth, right? That was from Big Bad Guru. Let's see there. Wave writes, next week we'll give some direction. The dilution was hanging a lot. There's either $1.05. Yeah. Guys, this thing is not going to be there. I will already tell you that. And looks like Trader Al says, because we have to give an update because he has an update for hedge funds. Hedge funds own a lot of this. They hedge. The short is, yeah, so that's their game they play, guys, here for any of the retail traders. The hedgies, they always like to do this. They'll get on the board, they'll pound and pump, and then they'll drop off, and they'll try to come on there, and they'll have a fake account for bear. Don't believe this bear shit, okay? And don't step in the bear shit. Don't listen to what these hedgies say. They want to pick up the cheap seats, and they want to discourage you, okay? They don't like you. You're not one of them. You're not one of them. A retail trader is not one of them. So he just puts, they also hedge, they short when the market index goes up and index down. That's how they accumulate on the cheap while hedging their position. Options are always more than dollars. They sell covered calls and puts the use to push. This is important. That's why I'm reading his comment. To push the stocks so they can expire worthless. This company is a little gem and I like it a lot. That's from Trader_AO. Trader_AO has one of the best comments we've seen tonight on here on this stock, because that's what they do. They try to get you down and they try to get you in the dumps, and then you get pissed off and you sell and they gobble up your cheap shares, and then they're the ones at the Caribbean and you're sitting there at Starbucks sipping on a coffee and saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking advantage of it. I'm so good. Don't put that frown, take it, turn it upside down or some stupid crap that they say. Okay guys, going on to the next stock we have is MMAT. MMAT, $5.90. That's $5.90. Going to the 6-month history of this, in March you had this hovering below $5. Then it looks like on June, July-ish, you hit above 15, and we'll go into why that hit there and everything like that. And then obviously the boys came back in town. They dumped, they pumped, and they dumped, and then you're back to 590. Okay, so what would you say they do here? Metamaterials Incorporated engages in the manufacture and development of functional materials. Its technology enables the global brands and delivers the products to customers, consumers, electronics, 5G communications, health, wellness, and aerospace. That information is provided to you, and you can follow the chart there at MarketWatch. You could go to marketwatch.com. You can get a membership, or you cannot, or you could just look and see what they got. Check it out. They have some interesting materials, and no, they didn't pay me to say this. They just got good shit on their site. Well, going on the website, well, it's not a pink sheet, and it doesn't look bad at all. It looks decent, but what do we expect from a stock that's we're at 5.90? So going to solutions there, what would you say they do here? Going into more of the website, they deal in aerospace defense. Ding, 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 huge right there. Put that in there because obviously in Afghanistan you had some stuff left behind. Guys, don't give in to the quantitative brainwash either that nothing got left behind in Afghanistan. I'm seeing all these kind of fake news posts. A bunch of shit got left behind. So it's called quantitative brainwash, and they do it to you. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back and have to make more stuff. So if these guys are in aerospace and defense, you know, they're going to they think of this as, you know, and then another thing too I want to say is there's not two parties. It's the uniparty. They're all together as far as that goes. So they're going to want aerospace, defense, contracts, things like that. Any of these companies that are into defense and things like that, they got to build more crap for the next go around, unfortunately, where they're going. I have some ideas, but we're not going to get in. This isn't politic.com or nothing like that. So, but anyways, we do have to take, because news matters. They are into aerospace and defense, which could be huge in the future. So going forward, it's worth taking a look. They're also in automotive, consumer electronic, energy, and medical. About them, I'll just go over the quick facts because the quick facts are important with them. We're not going to go too much with leadership and things like that. Closed a transaction with Torchlight Energy Resources, became the first metamaterial company listed on NASDAQ, and changed the name to Metamaterials Incorporated. Signed a 10-year lease for expanded 68,000 square foot headquarters. Facility included the new customer center. Collaboration with Skisu Chemical to improve performance and the coverage of 5G and 6G communication networks. Acquired assets of IP from Swisslens, manufactured inner glass to develop AR Fusion. Augmented reality eyewear, and support integrative prescription lenses. Again, that's huge as well. In 2020, they changed the name for Metamaterials Technology and began trading under the Canadian security exchange CSE. They had an additional $5 million from BDC Capital, 15 new patents, and signed a definitive agreement for business combination of Torchlight Energy Resources there. So, going into, let's see, anything else there. Technology. They're into metamaterials and functional surfaces, holography, lithography, wireless sensing, custom solutions, and intellectual property. Let's see, going into here, for products, they have NanoWeb, Holo Optics, AeroFusion, Meta-Air, and GlucoWise. We're not going to go into, we could go to the Alphabet News, we're going to go there, check it out, and see why news is popping here on this, because obviously there's some uptick. So we're going to go through all that, possibly a little bit through new and past, and see what we got cooking here on this stock, because that'll give us some direction of where this is going. Okay, guys, so this plug comes from Midday Meme Report from 24. This is Midday Meme Report 24/7 Wall Street by Paul Alsick there. He said, in noon Thursday, the major indexes traded higher by the third to half an index percentage point. Trading was lower than volume average, with advancers getting action and decliners 2-1, 52-week highs, new lows. Weekly claims for unemployment benefits came for 340,000, lower than the consensus estimate and the last week's total. Actually, for those numbers, congratulations. No, there's no congratulations in that. So it was actually lower than both consensus estimates last week's. We'll dive into that another show there. The Friday morning consensus estimates for 750 new jobs, down sharply from last month's total of 943. So that's how the article started there. The leading gainer at the noon hour Thursday was the meme stock. Obviously, they have to call it the meme stock, right? Portfolio was Metamaterials. The company has no news, but George Palakarisis continues to delight the retail investors with his tweets. For some stocks, that's all there is, and it's enough. So what the writer fails to realize, or if he didn't look, if you go on the actual website, you can actually see what they do and what they got going on. If there's anything with DOD, this thing goes up there. What's his name? Paul. If there's anything that goes on with DOD, this thing's gonna jack up. I'm not trying to diss you or nothing. I'm just saying that with the things they do, and it doesn't matter with the tweets. Eventually, they're involved in so many things. One of them's got to click there and take off. And if they can get some government dollar-rooskies, then yeah, it's just going to go up higher. So that's one plug here. We also have a month ago. This is interesting here. This was from Yahoo Finance. Nanotech agrees to acquire Metamaterials Incorporated, announced third quarter results of fiscal 2021. The leader in development of secure visually nano-optical security features used in the government and banknote brand protection markets announces entered definitive agreement with Metamaterials. So again, if you are dissing this, if they're involved with government and banknote brand protection markets, that's you can't ignore that information as far as that. And that's from a month-old plug from Yahoo Finance you had. It also says developer in high-performance functional materials and nano composites pursuant to Meta, which is acquired the Nanotech $1.25 common share in all transactions valued at approximately $90.8 million on a fully diluted basis. Meta and Nanotech will host a webcast at 10 a.m. for that transaction. So, with like I said, with that article, if they're doing anything with government and things like that, and they're getting government dollar-rooskies, there's some play and wiggle room there as far as what's your buy point, where you're getting in. So as far as that, it still doesn't look that bad. I'm saying what I say, jump on it and grab it. That's up for you to decide. I don't decide these things. I just tell you, I'm not one of those persons that say I'm the panda bear or I'm the big bear or I'm the big bull or something like that. I just give you the information and you guys do what you got to do with it, run with it, and see if you can make some dollar-rooskies. Going on to Stockwitz there. That's where the real traders hang out at. Skipper Bullforce says MMAT bears pre-market tomorrow. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, seriously. Because remember, guys, what the bears do, they try to bear you, and those are the little hedgies and their little bots they put out. They're trying to dissuade you. So, but tomorrow, remember, is Skilo Friday. What is Skilo Friday if you're new onto the show? Skilo Friday is where they go and dump because they can even speed on the highway, and they will pump up. They did the pump up the jam from the beginning. They're going to dump out. They're going to try to get you to dump. Some people will cash out, and they'll come back and they'll gobble up the shares. All the big dogs will, and they'll take the cheap seats. So just be aware of that. Don't get discouraged. Okay, I mean, you know what you're doing there, so we don't have to worry about that. MMAT, what's the word for tomorrow? Iva benign. MMAT, I'll post every time. Don't call it a comeback. Let's see. Can I get amen? Can I get an amen? Y'all know about this thing. The song lets you know where I stand. Oh yeah, that was a good song. He posted one with Willie Nelson and Ray Charles, 7 Spanish Angels. Go check that out, dude. That song's a sick. All Ray Charles songs are good though. The guy was just an awesome artist. So was Willie Nelson too. Ali 6 MMAT 100% all the time. 100% possible tomorrow. MMAT, everyone out here knows, long time metamaterial investor. This is from Parabolic Gains. He writes, I have 1,151 shares, 694. The stock is a life changer for everyone. I don't sell until the stock is $50 price. Too much possible news, contact. Yeah, exactly. You need to go through the news like he says and go through all of it. Don't let the hedgies get you down and the bears. The bears are trying to get you to give up your shares so they can get it on the cheap. That's what they want to do. That's their goal. That's always been their goal. MMAT tomorrow is another uptrend for the stock. We'll see a true price coming soon. November is the big catalyst. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Wait for your when it comes to your next quarter there. That's when you could see the movers there. 4 a.m. yet? It's almost 3,400 followers. Hey, let's just add this as a following on this. Might as well. I just became follower number 40,000. Okay, guys, so going on to just check this out, see what you think. We got all positives except for your goofy bears, and we know who the bears are. They're the ones out there that want to get this stock cheap, and they want to discourage you again, and they want you to feel depressed. But you can't be depressed because tomorrow's Friday, and you're going to make money, and you're going to make it a positive day, and you're going to make it rain cabbage. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is APOP. APOP or APOP. Last tick there was $8.75. After hours, this thing is cruising at, it has been up $3.25. We're going to dive into the news. It's Cellect Biotechnology Ltd. ADR. The 6-month history on this, it's been wavering between $4.50 and change. We had a dip and dunk, looks like in April. Then it was moving steady along around the 4s, and then it popped just around here on the second, around the second, first-ish, it's popped. And we're going to go into the reason why it popped. What would you say they do here? What they do is they engage in the provision of regeneration medicine. Activities include development of regeneration medicine through its development of products facilitating immune stem cell selection. There you go, the key, immune stem cell selection. So we're going to go to the website, check it out, and see what they got cooking. Okay, guys, going to the About Us part and what they do. Realizing the stem cells are one of the pillars of the 21st century medicine, first developed around enabling the mass enrichment of stem cells as raw material for any regenerative materials, treatments. Without such technology, stem cells-based treatments will remain to the confines of the laboratory and clinical trials. For regenerative medicine to become publicly available to all people, quality stem cells need to become a commodity, easy and in mass for all medical purposes. Ain't that the truth? Cellect was driven by its wish to become a main provider for technologies for pharma companies and medical centers that will make production of stem cells based on the product's trial safe and inexpensive process. So they're trying to make it inexpensive. Based on a 15-year research, the long sought-after methodology that achieves the dream backed on 7 families of patents, Cellect's April graft is aimed at becoming the industry-wide standard for enabling the stem cells myriad of regenerative medicine treatments. Okay, guys, so for their main technology, they do the APOgraft. The APOgraft performed a functional selection of stem cells through apoptic process. One of the examples of this is used as technology is the APOtainer. Off-the-shelf medical device, much shorter procedure, no special laboratory required, significant reduced costs. There's your scientific paper about that one. So you can check that out on the screen. I'll give you a look-see. Preclinical data general. Prior to animal studies as part of the vitro campaign, studies were performed to define the relevant effector of molecules, TNF, the concentrations and conditions of the murine studies. Following the large number of animal studies that were performed in order to test the technology in marine and human transport models. Major findings: the resistance receptor mediated hypostasis and inherent characteristics of stem cell prognathator cells. Using the stringent conditions, GVHD mortality rates were reduced by 80% to none. That is huge news. These findings support the product claims for the cell prognathator cells based in insensitivity receptor mediated hypothesis from all sources. Accelerated ex vivo treatment for umbilical cord blood. Interesting. And induction of tolerance grafts and suppression autoimmunity. The goals of the clinical development and therefore abolish of all CVHD and all sources of donor cells, maintenance of anti-tumor effect, improved engraft human cells, umbilical cord cells. So you could see all the other treatments and future applications they have on the website. We're going to go to the alphabets, check out what they're mocking there, and see if we can get some quantitative brainwashing. That's the word of the day. So we're going to go to that and check out to see what they have. And then we're also, just whatever you do, don't get quantitative brainwashed. Remember to take in all sorts of information, not just one, but many sources of information, so you can make an informed decision on your stock and not let the big dogs and the guys that got paid promoting on TV, news articles to swing your decision and tell you it's a good buy. You need to decide what you're going to buy. So that's why we do all angles. We do the news and we do what the retail traders are saying, as well as some other traders that are experienced. I didn't see anything worth reading on the alphabets. The only thing I saw was as far as, should I buy this stock? Well, you shouldn't go to an article if it says it. It's like, how much did you get paid to write this article? Or, is this a good stock to buy? Should I sell? Any of those type of articles you want to avoid, because don't be quantitative brainwashed. Okay, guys, heading on to Stockwits there. It looks like we have Fisker Bull says, I see why this has POP in its name, IMAO. Pet07 says, this is worth $30 a pop. Could be. APOP account challenge update. Start March 2021, starting at $5, current 25,000. Sorry, 5,000, current 25,012. Goal 60,000 by the end of the summer. Really nice chart. It looks like 874 is acting on a new support, previous high. Pretty good, actually. It holds 874 if this goes. Just like ACIU, it's going down tomorrow, not to mention a long weekend. Could be a red day tomorrow. Well, yeah, it's Ski Low Friday, and you can even speed on the highway. Booze and boats time. People are going to be loading up. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a sell-off there. APOP could be the perfect storm tomorrow. Great news for bone marrow transplantation and upcoming merger, low float. And this is from FE123. That's what I said before to you guys, is that Stockwits and some of your other boards and your Reddits and things like that, that's where you're going to get the most information. Not from these heavy hitter quantitative brainwashers that are like, as Tyler Durden would say, and be like, oh, dude, you need to do this. And I'm so tired of some people saying like, oh, I heard that Joe Schmo on this radio station said it's time to mow your lawn, or this is the best time to weed the flowers. Why do people just like why you got to get all sources of information? These people have an agenda for something. Either they're trying to sell, like for the lawn thing, they're probably trying to sell shit at the greenhouse that they got their buddy up the street, and that's why they have the articles out there to go buy fertilizer. I'm just saying, okay? Same thing goes with some of these companies, is that some of these companies, the people are paid for the promotion articles, or they're promoted on TV. Look at all your TV stations. Most of them are all big pharma. I'm just saying, just putting it out there, okay? So you got Big Bear 4. I see 6 million volley might book Pookie in your future. Let's see. Just kidding, girls. 3.24. Yes. 320. No way, no harm. Losers. Let's see. Memorable day tomorrow. I open 30 years Scotch. I'll be opening a 30-year Scotch. That's from SM Casado. K_Salt says, man, AH is amazing this week. It's been Monday. The markets are closed. A strong finish. Besides this, they will eliminate 80% of 90% of those yogis. APOP. Solid news. Low float 4 million. What's not to love? That's from Moneymaker_1989. Then you got FM Casado. He's got some good takes here. He puts most of the bears shorts and sometimes leave the brokers hanging dry and major losses. Some margin calls are in the hundreds and thousands. They cannot cover them. Then you have, he also said, the final ruling, the best thing can ever happen. Now we have 89% of the bears out of the way. So there you go. That was from MS Casado again. Yeah, the bears, they're just trying to gobble up the cheap seats. I'm sure they'll be gobbling up tomorrow when people sell off for Ski Low Friday. Well, I'm done for the day. Hopefully Cameo is not getting wet. Hopefully everybody is trying to stay dry or getting dry back in the NYC. Peace out to the family that's there. Hopefully you guys are staying dry as well and cleaning up everything. Don't make it a dog show. Good night now!